So you're getting into coding. You've probably heard people throwing around the words Git and GitHub, right? Well, they're not just fancy tools. They're pretty much the bedrock of modern software development. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what they are, and more importantly, how you can make your very first contribution. Let's dive in.
First, let's talk about what I like to call the coder's dilemma. It's this problem that, trust me, every single one of us runs into. It's that moment when just trying to manage your own project starts to feel way more chaotic than creative.
I mean, does this look familiar? You've got a folder just packed with files named project_final, project_final version 2, project_final for real this time, and you have absolutely no idea which one has your latest, greatest work? Or worse, that heart-stopping moment of panic when you realize you've accidentally deleted hours of progress. Yeah, we've all been there.
These right here are the classic headaches. You're constantly afraid of losing your work. You can't keep track of what you've changed. And oh boy, trying to work with other people by emailing code files back and forth, that is just a recipe for absolute disaster. There has to be a better way.
And of course there is. This is where our two heroes of the day come into the picture. Let's introduce the amazing toolkit that solves every single one of those problems: Git and GitHub.
So what's the actual difference between them? It's really simple. Think of Git as your own private logbook. It lives right there on your computer, and its only job is to track every single change you make. GitHub, on the other hand, is like the public library up in the cloud. It's where you take that logbook and your project to store it safely, share it, and work on it with other people.
And you might be asking, why is this so important? Well, because in today's tech world, your GitHub profile is your resume. It's a living, breathing portfolio that shows potential employers not just what you can build, but how you build it. It shows how you think, how you solve problems, and how you work with a team. It tells your entire story as a developer.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get practical. How do you actually get your awesome code from your computer up into the cloud? It all boils down to a really simple, core 5-step workflow.
And here it is, the entire process from start to finish. Now, it might look like a lot of steps, but honestly, it's just 5 simple actions. You create, you clone, you make a change, you commit it, and then you push it. Let's quickly break down what each of these really means.
First up is the repository, which you'll just hear everyone call a repo. Don't let the fancy name intimidate you. It's just a folder for your project. But it's a super-powered folder that holds not just all your files, but the entire history of every single change you've ever made. It's your project's home base.
Next, you clone that repo. And yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're just making a perfect, identical copy of the project from GitHub and downloading it onto your own computer. This is what lets you get to work on your code even when you're not connected to the internet.
Okay, now for what is maybe the most important step, the commit. This is so much more than just hitting save. A commit is like creating a permanent save point, or a snapshot of your project at a specific moment in time. And every time you commit, you write a short message explaining what you did, like fixed the navigation bar or added the user login page. This builds up a crystal clear history of your project, step by step.
And finally, you push. Once you've made and committed your changes locally, a push is the action that sends all of those saved snapshots from your computer back up to the main repository on GitHub. This is how you share your work with the world and back it up safely in the cloud.
So now you know the 5-step workflow. But you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? Well, because it unlocks some truly magical features. Let's look at the 2 biggest superpowers this whole process gives you.
To put it simply, Git is your project's very own time machine. Because it saves a snapshot of your work with every single commit, you can travel back in time. Did you make a huge mistake and break everything? No big deal. You can just jump back to a previous version when everything was working perfectly.
This timeline shows it perfectly. So in commit 1, you have your basic idea. In commit 2, you add a nice stable login feature. But then, in commit 3, you try to add a sign-up feature and it introduces a massive bug. Instead of panicking, you can just say revert and instantly jump your entire project back to the safe, stable state of commit 2. It's literally an undo button for your whole project.
The second superpower is documentation. Every good project needs to explain what it does and how to use it. GitHub uses a really simple language called Markdown that lets you create beautiful, easy-to-read help files, especially the readme.md file you see on the front page of almost every project. And it is so simple. You can see it right here. You just type a little hash symbol for a big heading or a dash to make a bullet point, and GitHub automatically turns it into a clean, professional-looking document.
It makes writing great project descriptions totally effortless. Okay, you now have the concepts, you understand the workflow, and you've seen just how powerful these tools are. There's really only one thing left to do now.
Here is your exact game plan. First, go to github.com and sign up for a free account. Next, download the GitHub desktop app. It'll make your life a lot easier at the start. Then just follow the steps to create your very first repository, make one tiny change, and do your first commit and push. And remember, every single commit you make from this day forward is one more line in your professional story.
So that's it. You now have the keys to one of the most powerful and important platforms in the entire tech world. The only real question left is the one you see right here. What will be the first project you share with the world?